show, and I'm going to share out the show. Welcome to the pre-show, everybody. This is the part of the show where we talk about what we're going to do on the show, and we got some things to talk about. I think some great comics, an X-Men election in the news. That'll be fun.
Mm-hmm.
All my top three are X books. Spoiler alert. They were so
Really all three.
Yeah.
I don't know. Two of them I thought were pretty mediocre this week.
Oh, dude. Anyway, segment one, we'll just talk about.
Save that for later, I guess.
Yeah. Ooh, teaser.
I don't think any of them were bad.
Dark Horse has unique studios now. We're gonna mention that for a little while. I don't know. It's new comics because we were crapping all over Dark Horse for losing all kinds of licenses. I felt bad. And then yes, X-Men election, and then WandaVision. Sure.
Yeah.
Why not?
Sure.
That was a good episode this week.
Oh my gosh, it was a fantastic episode this week.
Actually explain some things, even though
it's about time.
Yeah.
Food news. I do have some food news, obviously. Is Taylor stuck again? Yeah, he's just
no, he's still there.
No moment of destruction, and then top three. Man,
he keeps doubting you, Taylor.
I read some good books. Well, constantly be moving or something, so I know.
What the hell do you want from me?
But that's on the agenda for the regular show that will start right after the pre-show in a few minutes. But we do have some things in the pipeline. Obviously, we have the regular Monday night preview. Did you guys bring any news or anything? Anything to tease?
No.
Good job, guys.
Yeah.
We do have
we need David, man.
I know we need David. We do have a regular Monday night preview show. We'll be doing that tomorrow. And then in February, which actually starts tomorrow, believe it or not, January flew by compared to last January.
Yeah, it did, man.
Anyway, Leroy has the pick for the Geekterion collection.
Has he picked it yet?
He has not picked it yet. He's just promised the blackest movie ever just because of the
it's going to be like almost March before we watch this damn movie.
No, he'll have it. He'll have it. He'll have it soon. We did top 5 Star Wars movies last week. It went very well, I thought. It was some opinionated discussion.
Yeah, I would say that. It was very opinionated. Yep. A lot of people had different opinions about different movies.
Yeah, so that'll be that was fun. And that's what top 5 is all about. People just crapping all over each other's opinions. The next one we're doing is top 5 comic book runs. Must be more than one arc, obviously. It can't just be like a
right. It's got to be like an actual run,
it has
not
to be
just
a run.
Right.
And we are sticking to the just one of any one thing rule, meaning you can only have one X-Men run. You can only have one Avengers run. You can only have one from Bendis, for example. You can't, because I could fill my top 5 with all Bendis if I wanted to. But in order to space it out, we're going to space it out. And I mean, that works for Stan Lee too, because
I don't know if Stan Lee is going to be in anybody's top 5 though.
Well, I mean, as much as I'm a fan of Stan and everything, comics have
he's not really a great writer. To be honest,
he's a great creater. I don't know.
He's a great creator.
His writing does not hold up. That's the problem. See, Taylor keeps blinking.
It's the art that holds up.
Not going to get anything to say. That sucks. But yeah, those are TBD. We don't know when we're going to be doing those. So yeah, Taylor, your internet. I don't know. Even I don't know if you can even hear me. That's why we do the pre-show, y'all. Make sure we wrinkle out all the bugs. Then you may want to just restart everything in your house. Just go to the breaker, flip it, and then flip it back.
Flip it a few times, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, let's just start, man. I miss that David's not here. Yeah, David's got a migraine, but he'll be back. But yeah, let's got a new intro.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, a new intro.
It certainly does suck.
It does. That's a very accurate intro. Well done, sir.
Thank you. Oh, is Taylor? Oh no, I don't know what Taylor's up to. He's in and out, man.
I was just trying to reset my internet there.
Greetings, geeks. Welcome back. It's another episode of This Geek in Comics, Outright Geekery's comic book shit talk show.
Shit talk show.
I'm your co-host Gomer. With me as always, Adam Normal, and there's Taylor. Taylor's having some internet things earlier. We don't know. It's hard to tell if it's.
Hey, he's okay right now.
He's frustrated about
it. Blinking. He's all right.
David's not with
me.
Yeah, we can hear you. It's going to be a whole show of that.
All right.
Can you hear me now? Let me comment on something you said 30 seconds ago because I'm just now hearing it.
I might try to switch over my phone if I have to or something.
Yeah, we'll figure it out, dude. David's not with us. He has a migraine. We're going to talk some news. We're going to talk some comic book reviews. But first, segment one, I'll start off. I've been rewatching Enterprise.
Why? Why have you been rewatching Enterprise?
Dude, it gets better every time I watch it. It's even better this time around.
You know, I actually have watched quite a bit of Enterprise. As a guy who hasn't watched that much Star Trek, I have watched quite a bit of Enterprise because it was the one that was like in syndication sort of a little bit.
Okay, sure.
While I was just like watching TV.
It's great.
Yeah, it's okay.
It has an overarching problem,
Enterprise,
right?
Enterprise doesn't deserve it. Reputation, I think.
It's got this overarching story about like the temporal Cold War that just doesn't work at all. They should have stuck with more traditional stories from that time period, like, you know, the Romulans and the stuff they were doing, like getting the Vulcans and the Andorians and all that together was gold. But yeah, there was some problems there. But I love it, man. And it gets better every time I watch it. What'd y'all do this week? Anything interesting? Anything at all interesting?
Man, no, not really.
Taylor got new internet.
You got new internet?
He needs to.
No, dude, I've just been doing what I've been doing. It's been a dark weekend here, all rainy, so I've been inside playing video games, watching old movies.
Nice.
I've been still watching Star Wars movies since we did that podcast. You know, it's once you watch one, you got to watch all of them.
Dude, Eli, the next day, we did it on a Tuesday. That Wednesday, man, it's like he dreamt in Star Wars. He just kept going off on the dumb things people say about Star Wars and then like saying, oh, if that's so dumb, look at this dumbness. It was great. I'm glad we did that. It was a lot of fun.
It was.
What about you, T? Did you do anything fun this week? Oh, he's broken again.
By the time I say it, that there's no point in me trying to say anything at this point. I'll see if I can get back to it in a minute.
All right, well, let's get into the. And this one is off the fucking rails already. I should just skip this news.
I think it's all right, man. Keep going. We're doing good.
First, we were just crapping on Dark Horse recently, okay? Because in the past, 4 or 5 years, they've lost Star Wars, they've lost the Whedonverse, they've lost Aliens and Predators and all that.
It's not all their fault. I mean, Disney bought like half of that shit, so
they lost a whole lot of stuff. So this week they announced that they have welcomed Unique Studios beginning in fall 21. Dark Horse Books will be releasing all new editions and growing self-published line in partnership with Unique Studios and Dwayne McDuffie nominee Roy Akupe. And he does like people of color, you know, star in these books. Malika Queen, Yanu, Child of Wonder.
That one looks nice. Yeah, I like the art.
We don't have any interior art on any of that, even though I think these are published. So I'm not sure. So yeah, it's a previous self-published stories along with never before seen bonus material. What we're trying to do over the next few years is create a compelling and immersive universe with our own twist. How well the unique universe.
So are they doing like their own superhero universe basically? Is what
exactly.
They're doing?
That's what it looks like to me. That's what
cool. Good for Dark Horse.
Yeah,
you know, branch out a little bit. Do something that's not, you know, licensed stuff. Not that can't be taken away from you. You know.
Yeah, and these are ripe for all kinds of adaptations, since that's the big thing to do nowadays. But in Malika Warrior Queen, Malika inherits the crown from her father, but in the process, the kingdom of Azaz is split in half. After years of civil war, Malika finally unites the nation, expanding it into one of the largest empires in all of West Africa. But expansion will come without its cost. That's September. Pre-order now. Child of Wonder is a teenage orphan with no recollection of her past. She discovers that she has the abilities that rival the ancient deities told in the folklore. And then we have this EXO
Folklore.
Legend of these all sound pretty damn cool, man. Legend of Whale Williams, Volume 1 is an Afro-futurist superhero story about redemption set in the bustling metropolis that is Lagos, Nigeria.
Lagos, Nigeria. Yeah, they all
Black
do
Panther.
sound pretty cool, you know?
Black Panther.
Yeah.
But
A
why
lot
not
of it
copy a good
sounds a little bit like
yeah,
Black
why not-
Panther, but
Why not
I
copy something
mean,
that wins?
what idea isn't original, you know?
Oh, yeah, and at least that's a good idea.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. Taylor is still here somehow, some way. I don't know. He keeps going in and out, but I'm sure he'll get a handle on it at some point. We're going to talk about the X-Men election.
Oh, hell yeah, man. I voted. Did you vote?
I did vote. I voted
Hell yeah, we
for
voted.
I voted for Strong Guy.
I did as well, man.
Oh,
I think we're
wow.
losing. I think we're losing.
I think we are losing. I do have that coming up, but first, this will impact the Marvel X-Men universe. Leia
Yeah,
Williams,
man. I think this is
the
pretty
beautiful
cool.
and talented Leia Williams. She is so great. I was on Twitter. Someone asked if the vote was legit. Is the winning character actually going to be on the new team? And yeah, every option on the X-Men vote came as an X-Writer group decision discussion, and each candidate means a writer is going to have to switch up some plans no matter what. Yeah, that's very optimistic. You know, I love that. That's a really
I
cool
love it
way
as
to
well.
write. It does worry me a bit. You know,
Well, that people will have to change their plans and stuff.
well, but I mean, how much are their original stories going to deviate depending on this choice? I mean, there's 10 choices. We'll go through the choices in a bit. I want Taylor to be back maybe for that. Or let's say they do vote for Polaris. All right, spoiler: Polaris is winning, and she makes
Right.
the team. Okay, so yeah, there's changes that are going to have to
She's
be
gonna
made.
have to leave X Factor.
Exactly, but which of the other candidates are also going to be on the X-Men team? You can't just have a team with Cyclops and Jean Grey and whoever gets voted.
It's like the Summers family right now. It's just
Well, I know, but is that how many members are we voting on here? Just one? Or are the folks Krakoa themselves are going to vote for? Are they the one within the story?
right.
You know what I mean? Like we're just getting to choose one member of the team.
That I think is probably more likely, is we're probably choosing one, and then
Yeah,
you know, Hickman has his own idea for like the rest of the team.
exactly. So in another frame of reference, if I'm looking at this list of 10 candidates and we're going to go over them one by one, hopefully Taylor gets back and can chime in too. This is a spoiler because we know only one of these motherfuckers is going to be on the X-Men. The rest of them have no chance of being on the X-Men. Right?
Right.
So it's kind of a spoiler for the election itself. We know that one of these mutants is going to get voted in.
Right.
But we know the rest of them are not going to make the team. To me, that's sort of a spoiler.
It is, but you know, it's still pretty cool that we get to vote in real life, though.
Oh no, it's amazing.
Yeah. So you know, there's a give and a take. There's a good and
Yeah.
a bad with both.
So why did you vote for Strong Guy? Because that's who I voted.
X Factor, dude.
Yeah, me too. I love him in X Factor. He's got a great arc. He's humanized in that. He just feels like a real guy. And
that's one of the best X-Men arcs of all time.
Yeah.
So
I would actually say Boom Boom is like.
I like Boom Boom also.
But Boom Boom would be terrible on the X-Men.
Well, Boom Boom's been in New Mutants anyway. So
yeah. She's drinking all the time. Armor's already been on the X-Men. I like her better in New Mutants. Sunspot, no, he should make the team.
I like Sunspot just because I like the way Hickman writes Sunspot, but I think Sunspot, even if we don't vote him in, will end up on the team somehow, some way.
He's gonna be in a galactic thing, probably.
Exactly.
Yeah. Tempo is cool, but I don't know. She makes damn good whiskey. She's the one that ages the whiskey on Krakoa. Forge, I'm sorry, Forge is better on no team, just doing his own thing.
Yeah, he just needs to be floating around, you know.
I like the
I really like him in X-Force. He's been hanging around in X-Force a lot. I like him in that book.
Banshee, he seems like the easy choice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It seems like, well, of course Banshee should be on the X-Men. He's amazing. Polaris, she's actually the one who's winning. We'll go over that again. Not a bad member of the team, really.
No.
She works. She's a little unstable. I like her on X Factor.
Yeah, I think I would prefer her to stay on X Factor and not go to the X-Men.
Yeah.
Just because I think they can explore her being unstable more in that book than Hickman will be able to have a chance to in X-Men. Because that's the problem with any of these characters going to X-Men, is that it's going to be a lot harder for you to get like a real personal story out of them, because you're going to be stuck in Hickman's huge plot building mechanics, you know?
You're not wrong there. That is a very valid point. And then the dark horse, Marrow, in my opinion, the dark horse in this. She just seems like the worst fit on the X-Men, but man, that seems like the best choice.
Right? That's usually the
one
ones
that
that
right.
work out the best, you know?
Yeah.
That's why X-Men is a thing. They're the outcasts, they're the ones who get picked last. So that's why I would like for Marrow to be on it. That's also why I voted for Strong Guy, because I think Strong Guy is one of those guys who would probably not get put on that team, you know?
Oh, yeah, any other way than if he was voted on, yeah.
Right.
So, I don't know. We don't know a lot about what's going to happen in the context of the story. We do know that these are the numbers as of a week ago, like 3 days after voting opened. Polaris was way ahead at 22%. Banshee, the easy choice, 14%. And then Sunspot, 12.5%. Forge, Armor, everybody else doesn't get more than, 10% of the vote. So, Strong Guy losing bad.
He totally is.
Whatever. I don't get it. But
I'm surprised Cannonball's doing so bad.
Cannonball's sort of a fan favorite, but okay, I got into a bit of a tiff online with somebody.
Cannonball only works with Sunspot, and Sunspot only really works with
as
Cannonball.
Characters. But he was all talking about his power set, how he could do all these crazy things. I'm like, dude, he's basically just a bullet. He basically just crashes into people. And he's like, no, he's so much more. And I'm like, sure, he has been so much more, but in most of the stuff he's in, he's just a bullet. And
he's just the guy who kind of crashes through ships and stuff in space.
And I mean, I had to remind him of, what we're reading here. It's Jonathan Hickman. He's not going to give any of these characters these broad new, dynamic to their characters.
That's not
enough room.
That's not untrue. Okay, so in his Avengers run, he did give Cannonball an entire new status quo with his family.
Well, sure, and that's where he's better, though. This would take him away.
Yes, it would.
That a little bit. And don't rehash, and I don't want to rehash that. But yeah, you're right. He did, but okay, so while this is all fine and good, right? This is great promotion. This is a lot of fun. People are talking. What is the election on Krakoa actually going to look like? You know what I mean? How are they going to vote? I mean, physically, how are they going to do it?
It's got to be plant related, right? It's got to actually involve Krakoa itself.
You put like a flower petal. Or
yeah. You touch the red leaf for Cyclops. Put the
So, and what are there going to be age restrictions? Can 10-year-olds vote?
Yeah. Can any of the new mutant? Are there age restrictions on the people who can be voted in?
Exactly, dude. What if it's some kind of like Goblet of Fire?
What if Franklin Richards gets voted in or something? Ooh. Something crazy like that. Ooh. Franklin Richards or something crazy like that.
Oh, dude, yeah. I think they have to live on Krakoa. That's probably. I hope so, because Franklin wouldn't be. What if somebody from Arakko gets voted on?
Yeah, that would be awesome.
The Blood Moon lives there.
They have the majority of the vote. Are they even allowed to vote?
Yes. Is Arakko
and if the fact that they're not allowed to vote is that, prejudice against them? Do they not get to say in their superhero team?
Well, we'll make our own X-Men.
Right? And then you have
mega level mutants.
You have that. Yep, you have that Civil War starting to brew.
Yeah. And also, I don't know how long they're going to drag this out, because obviously, if we're just getting
if it's Hickman, he probably won't drag this election out very long.
But
He-
if we're just getting the vote now, it's going to take them a few months to incorporate a character, right? 1 month for editing, and then until 3 months you have to solicit it. I don't know. Is it going to be summer before we
Well,
even get to the
unless
vote?
unless the reveal is just like a last page stinger or something. That could be an easy way to just stick it into an end of a book.
But then
At
they have
the
to
end of a
continue with the story, and so it can't be any further than what we've already got, stuff
solicited.
solicited, I
Right.
guess.
So I would say probably like 4 months out.
That's what it really is interesting to me about this, the whole, process of it all. How the creative and really the logistics of doing something crazy, silly like this. Remember when they murdered Robin?
Yeah, no, I don't.
Oh yeah, no, I don't. I remember reading about it in my ancient history books. All right, so I guess Taylor isn't going to make it for the X-Men discussion.
Man, that's disappointing.
WandaVision, though.
WandaVision was awesome. So this
WandaVision
episode was
so
unlike
good.
all of the other ones. This one was actually, like a normal episode of television.
Like MCU, it felt like I was in the MCU.
Yeah, this felt like an actual MCU movie, which, really speaks to the quality of what these TV shows are going to be like coming forward,
Yeah.
which makes me really excited for everything that's coming up.
Yeah, without a doubt, I'm excited for the Winter Soldier and Falcon and all that stuff. Miss Marvel, even,
But
which
still,
I think
this episode
ties
was
in,
awesome.
which I think Miss Marvel ties directly into this
Probably,
series.
definitely.
Yeah.
Well, definitely because Sword's all over the place, which I
Swords
love.
all over the place.
I
think
love Sword being really active.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, Monica's there. This is Monica Rambeau, who was
Mhm.
in the Captain Marvel movie
right.
as a young girl in the 90s. And also Jimmy Woo, who was in Ant-Man.
I love that he was in this.
I love
he
that
was
he is in it.
hilarious.
Yeah, he was hilarious. He did like a card trick early on that was, a note back.
Mhm.
Darcy and Jimmy, I mean, they watch WandaVision
great
the same
too.
way we do.
Jennings, yeah.
Yeah, they watch WandaVision the same way we do. We don't have any damn idea what's going
What's
on.
going on? Yep.
And then they threw back, man, like the drone. This is the drone that went in, but it was changed.
They explain everything a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, they give you not so much all of the explanation,
But enough of the pieces for you to put some stuff together if you pay attention.
yeah. But also what this show does is it's fully immerses, because there was a question, because the show was so damn different and weird, it fully immerses you, the audience, into the fact that yes, this is happening in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Okay, it's been a while since we've had an MCU movie. The impact of Endgame and all that shit, but this episode starts off right after everybody comes back, dude. Everybody is de-dusted, and it really captures the mayhem.
How
of
crazy
how that would
everything
actually
is.
happen. If
Right.
everybody just popped back where they were when they left.
Right? And
It was
not
nuts.
everybody would be as lucky as Monica was in this to have somebody there who she actually knows to be able to kind of walk her through what's going on. Taylor, what are you doing commenting? You're supposed to be in this saying that.
Real all-star team of MCU side characters in this episode. True. I want a Jimmy Woo show. Give Kat Dennings a show. Where she just goes around researching strange.
We're going with Sword show.
Yeah, sword show. Put them all on a sword show. But yeah, you see and then she's all bummed out, right? And she's bummed out because while she was gone, the 5 years she was gone, her mother passed away, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's that great connection. First of all, you're immediately like, oh man, Endgame was so dope. I remember everything about Endgame. Endgame really stuck with me. This happening right after Endgame, or not after, like during the end of Endgame.
Right.
Just immerses you in the MCU. And once you believe that, once you're in there, then they can do anything. And they did. They straight up changed Maria Rambeau's entire who she is in the MCU. She's not just Captain Marvel's buddy. She's the founder of Sword.
Yes, she is.
She's Agent Carter, dude.
Now.
She's Agent Carter.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
She's the one who goes in head first in all of these weird, supernatural.
So then, of course, Monica grows up in that and becomes this. So then you just believe. of course this actress is Monica from Captain Marvel, and of course she's dealing with this because we saw her at the end of Endgame, because that was the beginning of this episode. It's just a perfect way to deliver what eventually became this full episode, because
Right.
it's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
That's the
It's
strength
Agents
of
of
the
S.H.I.E.L.D.
MCU. That's the strength of the MCU is
Yeah.
you get to introduce characters in other shows, and then you get to use that introduction to jumpstart them when you actually are that go to flesh them out and further develop them and later,
Yeah.
and later things.
Yeah, it's not only are they bringing in characters that you know, these characters are directly related to aspects of the story.
Mm-hmm.
Darcy's related to all of this weird power, cosmic shit, Jimmy Woo, he's like a cop, investigator. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
You know who Monica is,
Right.
even though you didn't. Last time you saw her, she was just a little kid. You don't know who her mom was last time, but they
She was
tell
just like
you.
a fighter pilot last time, yeah.
But yeah, dude, it works so perfectly. It really opens things up too for the Secret Invasion show that they've announced. Sword
That's gonna be
being
awesome.
it's gonna be so great.
Jimmy Woo is probably I hope he gets in that. Same
Yeah.
as Kat Dennings. They were awesome and
It opens things up for the MCU in literally a 25-minute episode, dude. Not only was this a good
it was a little
episode,
longer than 25 minutes. This was a longer episode. This was more along line, more like 40 minutes or so.
yeah. Taylor's saying that he'd watch a Monica Rambeau show or a Maria Rambeau show. Sure. Like set in the 90s into the 2000s. Dude, that would be awesome. That would be a lot of fun. But not only was this an excellent episode of WandaVision that gave you a lot of cool action, it gave you all that inside baseball, it told you all this stuff. Dude, this was just a damn good installment in the MCU overall.
Yeah, it was. It was very well done.
Not only did we connect everything in WandaVision to everything else in just the coolest of ways, expanding on the lore, so to speak. But it opens everything up, dude.
It feels
everything
like
is possible now.
Well, it feels like a true sequel to the events of Endgame, which is we haven't really gotten that yet.
Yeah.
I mean, we got that other Spider-Man movie, but even that it didn't feel like a real exploration of life after Endgame,
Yeah.
And this actually they're delving into something that happened.
And
really exploring the consequences of what went down when Thanos showed up. Yeah.
And there's so many hints in this, man. All right. They're in a town called Eastview, New Jersey. There actually is a town called Westview, New Jersey, and it's 30 minutes from Jersey City, New Jersey, which is where Miss Marvel is from.
Mm-hmm.
And she's going to be in a show. And then we know that's happening in Jersey City. They mention the background cosmic energy that was around during the Big Bang in the same paragraph where the director of S.W.O.R.D. mentions that he still has men missing out in the field. That's the Fantastic Four. Okay. All right. Wanda has already given birth to 2 individuals who are considered mutants.
Yeah.
In the MCU or in the Marvel Comics universe, they are. Now, I'm not saying these are all very solid. These are not rock solid, little Easter eggs that they're throwing at us. But
they're there.
They're there, and you can't deny that these words that they're speaking, these coincidences are there.
That's always been another strength of the MCU. They've always been really great at throwing out these little Easter eggs for you to dive over and
sure, but
explore.
Now
it feels more concrete, though.
Exactly, but really, and WandaVision is starting this, and I don't think Black Widow would have been the start of this, but WandaVision is really building.
Yeah.
Building the next phase of the MCU, and I think nobody is realizing it. Everyone is saying, "Oh, how should they introduce this? And how should they introduce that?" What if they're just going to introduce everything at the end of WandaVision?
I mean, I'd be down for it.
Oh, here's the Fantastic Four.
I really do think that this is the future of the MCU. These, mini events, because this is what it is now. The Marvel TV has turned as Marvel Comics is Marvel TV now. Yeah. Instead of getting event comics, you're going to be watching event TV shows. You're going to be watching WandaVision. You're going to be watching Secret Invasion. Be a Dark Reign or something coming out soon afterwards. They go all over the place. Get all of them.
We're going to get a Young Avengers
Oh
You know,
yeah,
'cause we're
totally.
getting a Riri show. We're not going to
Mhm.
get a Young Avengers movie.
No, we'll get a
There's no
Young
way in
Avengers
hell
show.
they're going to do a Young Avengers movie, dude. There's no way. You know, and that's not to say the MCU as we know it in theaters is going to go away. We're still getting the new
Well, they
Guardians
read it.
movie.
Yeah, it's not.
We're still, but that's the thing about these brands now. You know, they can be all the things. We're still getting Star Wars movies, and we're going to get a crap ton of Star Wars shows. Same thing's happening with the DC universe. We're getting
Yep.
theatrical movies, but we're also going to get a crap ton of shows. And I don't know, man. It's
That's also news. I mean, I guess we
yeah,
have
go
a
ahead.
release date for the Snyder Cut.
March 18th, isn't it?
Yeah, something like that. I don't.
Yeah, not in theaters, but
Not
it's
in
4
theaters.
hours. But it's 4 hours.
That's gonna be rough.
The thing about it is it's streaming. So
you could stop and do whatever. Yeah.
I said, what's the difference? You know, and they're like, oh, well, duh. One is a movie and the other one is a streaming series. I'm like, dude, but if it's only coming out on HBO Max, I can pause it whenever I
It's
want.
it's like when The Irishman came out and people came up with their own episode guides for
Yes,
when
that's
to
what's
pause
going to
and-
happen. Yes, exactly. That is exactly what's going to happen, dude. All right, yeah. So the X-Men vote was cool. WandaVision was dope, and we say those two things together because it is an X-Men day, an X-Men episode. And damn, Wanda at some point is going to say no more mutants. Like,
Oh,
no,
she told. Well, they have
No,
to introduce
comma.
mutants first. Maybe instead of saying no more mutants, she's gonna say there will be mutants, or
say no, comma, more mutants. That's what I want to see. Anyway, let's get into food news. This one sucks.
Oh yeah, that does.
Taylor's gonna try to be back. All right, let's put off food news for a hot second to see. If
Oh hey, it's Taylor.
Hey, Taylor,
What's up, bro?
is it better?
I hope so.
It's not.
Let's
For a hot second.
Okay.
Mm,
Okay. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. Let's
How
see
is
if
it?
this works. I guess. What if she comes?
Oh
Oh, okay.
no, it's not working, T. He looks so excited about his idea too.
He does. He really does.
That sucks.
Type it out in the comments, man. We'll put it up.
Oh yeah. All right, let's just move on to food news.
I
Okay,
tried.
we got it.
Coke with coffee is a new thing. Yuck.
I mean,
That's all. I mean,
I think that's gross too. I don't really drink coffee.
I'm not really,
I don't like it.
I'm not really sure what else to say.
But I guess I could see the appeal for some people who
I
really like Coke.
Coke. I'm not a fan of coffee, but I don't mind.
I would-
flavor of
I
coffee.
don't know if I would really want to mix the two flavors.
I don't understand why anyone would want to do this. I don't understand. I don't understand why anybody would want this. But you can get it.
Mysteries of the world, you know.
It's in stores now.
People
Go
do
out.
a lot of things that I don't really understand why they do it. So.
Find you some Coca-Cola, whatever. All right, I wish I had better food news. Sorry. We do not have any Transformers or G.I. Joe or anything like that. G.I. Joe has really been slacking on us lately.
It has been, man. I feel like it's been forever since the last issue came
I don't
out.
know what the hell the problem is there. We are getting next week Snake Eyes Dead Game or whatever, but we're not really.
Yeah, but
reviewing that.
who? Yeah, Rob Liefeld. I'm not going to touch that at all.
Kind of not good anyway. But
Yeah, it's Rob Liefeld.
but next week we are getting the big one, Beast Wars #1.
Oh hell yeah! I am super excited about this.
Me too. Even though I'm not a Beast Wars guy, G1 is the best
I
one.
hope this is good.
We're gonna talk more about that on tomorrow night's preview show, 7:00 Central. Yeah, I
Jules,
assume
Jules will geek out about it with
I
me.
assume you and Jules are going to talk about that for quite some time. And I'm not hating on it. You know, I am not a Beast Wars guy. I am a G1 guy.
Who's writing that thing? Do you remember?
I don't have
Oh no,
it.
we'll go over it tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll definitely go over that tomorrow. Tune to that, but now we're going to talk the comic.
Talk the comics.
Talk the comic. My favorite part. Talk comics. I'll go first since it's only two of us.
Okay, fine.
And I'm glad I have extra long notes here, so then we won't go over. That's great. Daredevil number 26 is an honorable mention. Chip Zdarsky, Mike Hawthorne with Marco Cicchetto. They were helping each other out. Those are the two main artists on this series. So it was kind of good that they teamed up for the King in Black tie-in, which is what this was. But Zdarsky is a genius. Okay, I have a crush on this guy. He's just. I have it in the
I don't
best form.
believe you, man. His Twitter game is amazing.
Oh, his Twitter game is so hot. All right, so there's new status quo where Daredevil is in prison. Matt Murdock is in prison.
And Elektra's Daredevil now.
Yeah, Elektra is Daredevil now. But it's weird because Matt Murdock is not in prison. He was actually arrested and found guilty as Daredevil, which is like this weird loophole from the Superhuman Registration Act. It was actually kind of smart. But
so does he get out of prison as Matt Murdock?
No, he gets out of prison as Daredevil. Right now, his twin brother is pretending to be Matt Murdock.
Oh, yeah, I forgot.
Brian Murdock, I think.
Man, they're pulling out a continuity for that one.
Dude, yeah, that's deep continuity, man. He thought he was a clone for a while. Remember that? He thought, "Oh, I've been cloned." No, you haven't. Shut up.
I mean, everybody's been cloned, so I don't really blame them. Clone or has had an LMD of them at some point,
All right, so you figured things would get bogged down, okay, with the whole King in Black stuff going on.
Is that happening in Daredevil right now?
Yes.
What
King
the crap?
I know, dude, and it's weird because like all this just went down. Like just last issue of Daredevil, that's when Elektra became Daredevil. That's when Matt Murdock went to prison. I mean, it was building for a while, but it was a big status quo change, and then boom, King in Black. Again, you figured it would be bad. Dude, this was perfect, okay? The story eases us in.
A lot of the King in Black tie-ins have been that way, That Thunderbolt tie-in I thought was amazing also.
Yeah, I haven't even been reading that many, but I may have to go back because this one was great, and like you said, the Hulk was great. But this story eases us in, showing like what everybody's doing. Like Matt Murdock's just kicking it in prison. Elektra's just doing her thing. And then there's also like Mayor Kingpin, just at like a gala being protected by bodyguards and Typhoid Mary. And then everything just escalates. And it's like an actual King in Black symbiote invasion actually happening. It was so interesting.
I love Kingpin and King in Black right now. All the stuff he's doing in Thunderbolts was amazing.
Cool. Yeah. Yeah, but this was just a wildly entertaining book. And here's some of the stuff that happened, right? Like at one point, he's nullifying Daredevil. And this is a page, just this text. And you don't even have to read it. You can just tell. It's Matt Murdock.
Yeah, talking to the symbiote.
Having like this discussion. And then Daredevil's like, sure, I'll be a symbiote. And he's like down with it, man. It was cool. All right, it's all right. My other honorable mention was Department of Truth number 5 by James Tynion and Martin Simmons. Just the art in this, if I could show some of that off, just very well done. Look at this 2-page spread. Just gorgeous. Man, this book's a little bit complicated, but it just keeps getting better and better. David would actually love this. I wish he was here. But it turns out, just a quick background, belief confirms reality instead of the other way around. Like, so things like conspiracy theories and like the Mandela effect, things like that are used by sinister organizations in attempts to manipulate society. And there's a government organization tasked with preventing this, like a counter organization. But in this issue, we learn that the U.S. government used this tactic after World War II to establish America in its 20th century station
as a superpower,
like bringing propaganda. Also,
right. They made enough people believe that America was great, that America became great.
Exactly,
and that makes sense. It really does, because that with the Cold War and propaganda and the way it was used.
Yes, it's very believable. But is it just another lie created by this black organization?
Well, if enough people believe it, it's true anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Exactly. And if you believe it as a member of this organization that's tasked to not believe it, then I don't know.
Well, yeah, what
Tiny
happened
is
to you
blowing
then?
my mind with this book, dude. All right, so Tiny is shining on this book. Simmons' art style is really good. With things like flat earthers, QAnon, all that stuff that these things do create a reality out of falsehoods, right? Simply because enough people believe the falsehoods. This is a really compelling series,
Yeah.
and this issue
Man,
touches-
this whole topic is going to tie in to one of my picks
Oh.
later in this podcast.
Sweet. Excalibur 17 was good too. Teeny Howard, Marcus Token.
Yeah, it was good. I read it also. I don't typically pick up Excalibur. I picked up this
Yeah.
one. It was just okay.
Nice. But my number 3 pick, and I'll be quick with this one because there's really not much to it. Wolverine number 9, Ben Percy and Adam Kubert.
That's my number 3 also,
Oh,
man.
awesome.
Look at us.
There was a dope RB Silva Aliens cover, and I picked it up because out of all of the Marvel characters, Wolverine is the only one who could beat an alien.
Man, the whole reason to pick up this entire book was that Adam Kubert art. It is fantastic. All this panel layout, the way the past and the present kind of intertwine with what they're talking about.
So yes.
The story was just okay, I will say. It's Patch going to some secret auction in Madripoor,
Yeah.
and while he's there, he figures out that the auction is for Maverick.
Eventually,
Eventually,
the person, like the mutant, the person.
yeah, the person Maverick.
So weird.
Yeah.
I was shocked.
Yeah, and then
When I
of
saw it, I was
course,
like, "What?"
yeah, and then of course the auction figures out it's Patch's Wolverine because it's pretty obvious when Wolverine walks in.
I
don't
know.
care. I don't care that you put an eye patch on Wolverine. We
Yeah.
know it's you.
Yeah. Exactly, dude. It's not glasses with Superman, okay? This is not a super patch.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And Wolverine uses a code phrase from his past, which is those weird panel layouts you saw earlier,
Yeah.
to get Maverick to kind of snap to
From their time on Team X.
Yeah, from their time on Team X.
Yes.
To kind of help Wolverine get out of this.
That was my favorite part of this. This book had one foot in the past and one foot in the present.
Definitely.
Still completely wrapped up around the new status quo of Krakoa. Wolverine is basically going to save Maverick and take him to Krakoa. You know what I mean? He's a mutant. That's what he's supposed to do. And that is a great sort of, umbrella over this entire issue.
I'd
but
love
it's
to see
Wolverine
Maverick
dealing with his
backstory.
past and his present. And perfect issue. Love this. Ben Percy has been killing it on Wolverine, dude.
Man, and then the Adam Kubert art, especially the 2-page spread where you have to flip it and you see it's just Patch walking through the party. It was
You see all kinds of
Chef's Kit.
characters in the background. It was Chef's Kit. It was perfect, dude. I wish I had that page. I should have taken that stupid page. Anyway, all right. What are your honorable mentions?
So honorable mentions, I got a couple. New Mutants, honorable mention. The story was just okay.
That's my number 2.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I will say the Rod Reese art is fantastic, and I'll leave it at that, so you can talk about it later.
Nice.
And then other honorable mention is Dark Detective number 2. The main story, still nothing really happened, but man, that Dan Mora art is fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna drop it after this one, but still.
There's 4 issues to it, man.
I know, but the backup issue was pretty cool. It was a Joshua Williamson. What's his name? You know him. He's from G.I. Joe. Gianni Miligianis.
Oh yeah, Yanni Miligiani.
Yeah, Yanni Miligiani.
Yeah, he's dope, dude.
Yeah, he is dope. They do a Red Hood story in this, and Red Hood is basically a mask hunter. He flips sides. He's working for the Peacekeepers.
Oh, what?
Yes. So
and it's still Jason.
Yeah, it's still Jason. So he gets alerts of masks going around the city, and he goes and he captures them, and he has a partner, and this partner is Ravenger. Okay, and you know the Ravenger Jason thing that's going on around,
Yeah.
So his partner is Ravenger, and there's this cool dynamic where Jason is known for bringing the masks in alive, and Ravenger's known for bringing them all in dead.
Oh wow!
Right, and the art's pretty cool because it's Gianni Miligiani art. But yeah, it's still the backup, and it's not really enough to carry the whole really expensive book that this is.
I dropped it so hard.
But my number 3, like I said, was Wolverine. So
Yeah, and great choice, man. That Wolverine book was top notch. Your honorable mention, New Mutants number 15. That was my number 2. Vita Ayala and Rod Rice doing the art. Like you said, it's just some perfect art. Here's just one example. Rain, freaking out because of her son. Her son was sort of done in by Hela
Man,
at one point. And
all of this
killed by
Rain
Strong
stuff
Guy.
was so depressing. I
was
loved
very
it. It was
dramatic.
great. Yeah.
It was very dramatic. I had a great time with it. But this is all about digging into some of the new concepts of Krakoan society, namely the resurrection protocols and the Crucible. This is why this book was in my top 3. All right, there's this new character called Cosmar, Natasha Rapina. They introduced earlier in this run. She has an ability. It's called Oneric Reality Warping.
Yeah, she just kind of distorts reality when her emotions get out
her
of
dreams.
control. Yeah,
Her
basically.
dreams become reality. So when they first discovered her, she was out of control. She killed her parents accidentally.
She distorted her own body, and now it can't go back.
That's the part. All right, this is what she looks like. She's scarred and disfigured her own face. All right. So at one point, she goes to Danny Moonstar, who's her mentor, and says, "Would you do me the honor of being my partner in the Crucible?" Now, you have to kind of know what the Crucible is. The Crucible is where depowered mutants, basically all of the mutants that Scarlet Witch depowered at the end of House of M.
Yeah.
They go to a barbaric ritualistic combat arena where previously Apocalypse just had ritualistic combat with this person. He would win, and then that person would die.
And they'd be reborn.
And they would go to the front of the line for the resurrection protocols and be reborn with their powers all intact. Since Apocalypse is left to go be with his family, you get to pick whoever you want. So that's why Cosmar is picking Danny Moonstar. But Danny says, "I'm so proud of you, but the Crucible is to heal mutants who have been robbed of their gifts. You don't need the Crucible. You are perfect. There is nothing wrong about you or your body or with you." And she does not take that.
Right. And this is where the Rod Reese art comes in really great, because just the art itself just shows you how the depression, how it just like her words just shoot right through her, but also at the same time just wash right over, have no effect. She's not even listening at this point.
So this brings up some questions. Okay. I think it's very reminiscent of Storm's speech to Rogue in X2. Are we going to tell this little girl that we're not going to quote unquote fix her on principle? If you could have fixed, quote unquote, fixed Rogue's power when her powers were uncontrollable, she can control them now. If you could fix Cyclops, because he doesn't need the visor. Remember, it's just all in his head. He could control it.
He likes it. It's like a safety blanket now.
Exactly. So how do you say no? We're not going to fix you on principle because that's just how your mutant power works. Well, who the hell are you to say how my mutant power works?
Right.
When does that authoritarianism?
When do I have control over my own body, right?
When do I have control over my own body within the context of this unique nationalism where these individuals are actually part of a bigger thing
and like
because of that power?
And also the thing is they're not even exploring it. They're just
only 2 of us this week.
Yeah, it's only 2 of us.
I had all kinds of problems.
They're just assuming right off the bat, because when her powers freaked out, she deformed herself that way, that's permanent, that she can't change her way back from that. Which I think is a big problem in and of itself.
So what if she dies just in the course of events?
Right.
And they bring her back. They're going to bring her back deformed like that? Can they even do that without adding to the formula that's already there? Because her mutant power caused this. I don't know. It's sort of like the Hellions too, how they found a role for the Hellions, even though their mutant powers make them the way they are. You know what I mean? But man, this is just very compelling to me. Sorry. So our new mutant's going to start. Is this little girl going to kill herself?
Maybe
put her
it's kind of going down that dark path, especially with Shadow King lurking around
and laughing about it. Yes.
Yes.
So this is that slippery slope that we know leads to Sinister's Chimera. I don't have answers to these questions, but these are
But
amazing.
it's great that it's making you ask these questions.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the best things that's going on with Hickman's Avengers or X-Men run going on right now. Avengers run, whatever. It's all the same anyway.
Right.
But yeah, because it's making you ask all of these questions about the status quo.
It's very well done. There was a lot more going on in here too, like the Rain stuff with Rain and her son. That's great. Scout, formerly Honey Badger,
Yeah.
trying to fit in. You know,
My favorite thing about that is how much it's leaning on the stuff that's going on in X Factor right now.
Yes, it feels like everything's connected. That's
Everything's connected. It's all a universe in and of itself.
Yeah.
You know, I am an X-Men casual. I am as casual of an X-Men fan as you can get, and I find myself I basically buy all of the X-Men books now.
Yeah, because
Just
it feels
they're
like
good. They're all good.
yeah, and it feels like it's part of a single universe, and
It feels like you need to read them all.
It's
It feels like
missing.
they all matter.
yeah, it does. So yeah, that was New Mutants number 15. That was my number 2. What is your number 2?
My number 2 is probably going to be your number 1. It is X-Men number 17.
It is my number 1. So yeah, let's talk about it. Go ahead.
By Jonathan Hickman and Brett
I
Booth.
cried a
It's
little.
nice to see Brett Booth do some Marvel stuff. He's been at DC for forever, it feels
He
like.
was trying to get canceled in a way. He's like an ultra liberal, and like he draws in a way that's sort of maybe not politically correct in some cases, but
Yes, I can totally see that with his Jean Grey and stuff like that.
Combination, yes.
But you know, the best thing I can say about this is where it ends. You know, every issue of X-Men, something monumental happens in it, and what happens in this one is the Shi'ar Empire owes Storm a favor.
Yeah, that's basically the ending. While you say that, and there is a whole lot more going on. It's basically just a bunch of action in space with the X-Men.
Yeah, the villain's a little nothing. You know, he's kind of a.
Don't even get me started on how dopey that villain is. He's like Rogol Zar all over again. He's so ridiculous.
He totally
I
is.
hate him. But we also have this like forthcoming galactic depression, economic collapse. You know, they're talking about that and everything. But you know what? I didn't give a shit about anything going on in this story. I was back in X-Men Cosmic. Dude, the art, and I have a lot of art from this book.
The art is awesome in this.
It's
Brett Booth.
straight out of the 90s. Look at the
straight up, man.
You see the new costumes Cyclops and Jean are wearing?
Yep.
Those aren't new costumes. Those are old costumes, bro.
Yep.
Those are the X Factor costumes, which is so poignant given the fact that recently in X-Men, the team basically broke up. Cyclops said, no, there are no more X-Men. He said, we're starting a new X-Men with votes. X Factor was the book, the first book where the original X-Men team got back together after.
Man, pulling from continuity. He knows what
pulling
he's
from
doing.
continuity, and dude, they're going into space. Okay,
Yep.
Look at that. Look at the
You know,
90s curves to these women's bodies. All right,
X-Men in space. It's always crazy. It doesn't always make sense, but it's
none of
always
this shit made
fun.
sense at
It's
all.
always fun though.
None of it made sense. Again, this felt like 90s. Look how hot Storm is here. Just beautiful. Look in the background though. Scott and Jean sharing this little touch moment.
Yeah,
Both
Jean looks
hands.
so happy right there.
It's
You know,
perfect, dude. Look at this. Look at the angles of the body. That's perfect 90s art. Dude.
Yep.
Say what you want about the styles back then, you know, and how they, you know, aren't politically correct nowadays because of misogyny and everything. I don't care. The stories in this, the story in here, all the women are the strongest characters. Okay, period. Storm is the one who wins. All right, Jean Grey is the one who finds out who the bad guy is. The Warbird here is killing everybody.
Smasher
Smasher is dominating.
Yeah.
Yes, curves. Thank you, Big Willie. And it's good curves. I
Yeah.
don't know why people would whine about this art. It's so good. I mean, look at this. That is good. Scott is just as hot, if not hotter, than the women in this issue, just the way they're drawn. And okay, we talk shit on the bad guy, Dude, that dude looks dope.
He does look dope.
He looks amazing.
He looks really dope in that picture, and I love the shading in that. The way his armor looks like space,
Yes.
it's so dope.
Well, he's a
But
Stygian. He's a Stygian. That's sort of their thing.
Yeah, he's dumb.
Oh yeah, he's a terrible villain. He's not good at it at all.
No, but he looks cool.
Yeah, and I'm not saying fuck PCBS. I'm just saying there's a point where the PCBS becomes too much, and there's nothing wrong with this art. There's nothing wrong with this art because she's at a certain angle. I don't understand. Maybe I'm missing something. Okay, maybe we're objectifying the women in here, but I'm sorry, they're objectifying the men just as much. There's an equal opportunity there for objectifying characters. Okay, maybe we shouldn't be objectifying any of them, but if you're actually,
look at that bulge for Cyclops. There,
exactly, look at that bulge. Showing these people as beautiful individuals, I don't think is politically incorrect. And if you read the book, Cyclops gets his ass kicked in this, and the girls come and save him. This is a pro-feminist book, despite all of that. Yeah, he looks dope, but he's still stupid. Well, you can hate Cyclops. I get that, But yeah, he looks great. Yeah, Brett Booth killing this, and that's what won me on this. This issue could have been a 5-issue arc.
Yeah, it could have
been stretched out.
It totally could have been, and that's been a lot of Hickman issues on this run. Leroy is kind of right in his critique that this doesn't have a connective arc structure like most books.
Sure,
each issue is kind of its own standalone story.
And I don't know if I'm good with that or not, because
I'm good with it because it sets up the status quo for all.
And Hickman is going to touch on all of that later. He's going to.
It's all going to matter. Yeah.
So that was my number one. That was your number two, man. Just a fantastic issue. I can't get enough of Hickman and his X-Men. He's just doing all the things great. Yeah, Booth is freaking awesome, and he killed it on this, dude. I was brought back to the '90s reading this. I really was. The colors were updated. The lines are a lot cleaner because they're digital lines, but everything else about it just screamed 90s to me, and at least throwback, late 80s, early 90s. So,
right.
Yeah, 100% win, my number one book of the week. Adam, on this very odd show that ends with you, buddy. What was
it's going to be my odd pick for number one. I found it. I finally found it. The diamond in the rough of Future State. It's Superman versus Imperious Lex, number one.
It was wonderful.
By Mark Russell and Steve Pugh. Did you read this?
I did. This
was wonderful. So this starts off with a meeting of the United Planets, and they get a request from Lex Luthor's planet to join the United Planets. And Lois Lane, the representative of Earth, is like, yeah, I think we should turn this down. And everybody else is like, hell yeah, we should turn this down.
They bring up that he stole pies that one time, or cakes. He stole cakes. Yeah, it was so funny.
All the little quips in the background were great. But then Superman shows up. Old man Superman. Everybody's old in this, which is I think was great too.
Yeah.
So old man Superman shows up and he's like, I don't know, guys. We kind of have to reconsider this. And he keeps going and he starts telling a story. Superman was exploring the Outer Rim, and while he was out there, he found a bunch of these robots that were just destroying planets, or, just enslaving them, taking all the resources. Superman, doing Superman, was like, can't let that be. So he tried to defeat them. Superman, being Superman, realized that they're kind of sentient, so he just kind of deactivates them instead of
knocks them out.
Yeah, instead of killing them, just in case there is a chance that they can be rehabilitated in the future, which is such a Superman thing to do.
Meanwhile,
he does some investigating, and he finds that these robots come from Lex Luthor's planet, and these robots are basically the entire basis of its economy.
Yeah.
All the people on the planet, they build robots, they refine whatever the robots bring back.
They do television shows about the
robot. Yeah. Everything is built around these robots. Okay. And now that these robots are gone, their entire planet is going in the stinker. Their economy's
Yeah,
dropping
they're
down.
going broke.
Yeah, and their leader is Lex Luthor. He's kind of built this cult of personality about himself, about being a winner and all the planets being a winner. Superman goes to this planet and he tries to tell all these people on this planet that, hey, these robots that you're building, they're actually hurting real live people. You can't be doing this.
They're like, screw you,
Yeah,
Superman.
people are like, screw you. And it's like, how do you tell people who have worked their entire life that they're living off of the pain and suffering of other
Others.
people?
Yes.
You know, I think this is just a very poignant story.
It's Russell telling this just stupid, dumb Lex Luthor Superman story.
It's hilarious.
But he's saying
great.
So much important things here about how society gets brainwashed by those in power, about how those in power are truly impotent unless they're, hurting other people to make their gains. Superman in this is like torn,
Yeah.
He's like, well, I
like,
want to stop this, but it's not really their fault, Lex Luthor's brainwashed him. Yeah, dude.
Like, it's hilarious. It's
hilarious. It's Mark Russell.
It's also super serious. There's definitely a lot you can learn from this if you pay attention to it.
What's Lex Luthor wearing this mask? This weird.
I don't know. When it comes off, he's probably going to look really weird because this is way in the future. So
yeah, it's like 2050, I think, on the timeline. I don't have.
I really liked how Lex Luthor was in this issue when he confronted Superman. He was like, "Man, you came to Earth. You wouldn't leave me alone at Earth. So I went all the way across the galaxy to the outer rim, found my own goddamn planet, and now you're here too." Messing up my stuff. Why can't you just leave me alone?
Yeah, and I'm helping people. I'm helping all these billions of people. And but and he's like, yeah, but what? I'm hurting everybody else. And he's like, oh yeah, duh. So then Superman convinces Lois Lane to sort of object to her own motion. And yeah, they're going to hear him out. They're going to hear Lex out.
Well, because the Lexor, the planet, is now the economy is in ruins. And they're basically just going to like crash out of existence. Yeah. So they need to Superman wants to let them into the United Planets, so the United Planets can help them sort of change their economy from this military industrial complex
to something better. You kind of need to, because where are these folks going to go then? 4 billion. Yeah.
It's like dealing with North Korea or something like that.
Exactly, dude. Exactly. No, Russell's deep. His Flintstones run, which was also with Steve Pugh, I think, who's on this book, is must read in my opinion. I loved his Snagglepuss. I know those sound like just dumb.
They were great though
for a guy to write. They were so good. Flintstones. I stand by Flintstones all the time, dude. It's a wonderful series. You should pick it up. But yeah, great choices. Yeah, I read Imperious Lex. I didn't actually have any major problems with the book. It's just, Future State overall.
I don't like it.
So
I agree. Future State overall is shit. But I really wanted to put a spotlight on this book in particular because I think this book needs to be checked out by people.
Yeah. Yeah. This might be, every event has at least one.
Future State, this should be the one that people are reading.
Every event has a good tie-in. Everybody always talks about, and we talk about it on this show a lot, how the Flash event, what's the Flash event? Flashpoint, that we always crap on. The Batman book for that
was great.
Gold is so
good. The Frankenstein book for that was good too.
The what one?
The Frankenstein book for that was good.
Frankenstein book for that was good too. Yeah. So yeah, that's a wrap, guys. Thanks for hanging out. This has been a very, very weird episode.
Hey, we made it through though.
We did. We made it.
It turned out all right at the end.
Oh yeah,
we got it. We've been doing this.
We know how to do this.
We've been doing Instruments of Destruction forever.
Yeah, we know how to do these damn things. So yeah, thanks everybody for hanging out. You're on Facebook or YouTube or Twitter. Go to those other 2 platforms. Search us out, Outright Geekery. Give us a like and a follow. Share us out with your friends. That would be awesome. We also have a Patreon, patreon.com/Outright Geekery. If you wanted to help us out, just $1. We're just looking for a little bit. Oh, we got another comment here at the end here. Back to Fringe. Where are you watching Fringe, Big Willie? Is it on a streaming service right now? I don't know. Maybe he'll answer before the end of the show.
Google can tell you. It'll be
Yeah,
all right.
I need. Well, he mentioned it the other day, and I meant to look it up, but since he said it again, I wanted to. But yeah, we got a whole bunch of other stuff going on. Tuesday night, we have our preview show where we talk about all the new books coming out that week. We have our regular shows with the aforementioned Big Willie. He's interviewing creators. He's opening boxes of cool stuff. Ooh, on
all kinds of things, man.
IMBD.
Oh, okay.
Available through Amazon. Thanks, Big
Yeah.
Will. Yeah, I love that show, man. It's a great show. But yeah, Big Willie's also reviewing comics. He's also doing OK Boomer with Thomas, where they talk about Gold and Silver Age books. All throughout the week, we're doing that. We have the Bullies, who premiere every Sunday night into Monday morning. They'll have a fresh episode up pretty soon, so stay tuned for that. We have Geekterion. We don't know what movie we're getting. We have a top 5 comic book runs. All that coming up in February. We got so much going on.
Gotta do some reading.
Yeah, no shit. Well, I don't think it's more reading. It's more of reviewing. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I
probably.
think
Because it's gonna be hard to read whole runs of stuff. I'm not gonna read the whole 100 issue run of Lost Light, but even though I should.
That's making my list.
It's totally making mine.
I don't know how high it's going to be up there, but it might be a top 3. It might be. It's that damn good.
I think it might be my second. Maybe.
Hickman Avengers your
Maybe.
number 1 then?
I don't know.
See, let's not tease it because we're gonna have the same fucking list.
I know.
Awesome. Yeah. So stay tuned for all that. That's gonna be a whole lot of fun. But most of all, I want to thank this Joker for hanging out with this Joker this whole time.
Anytime, man.
We're gonna do it again next time.
Same geek time, same geek channel.
You were kind of forced into it.
I was.
Taylor wouldn't have done it anyway.
I put a little effort at the beginning and I kind of petered out towards the end.
Yeah.